Okay, so hello, it's
Hello.
Katie
Hello.
and Aaron from By Bus or By Boat. So yeah, we'd just like to ask you a few questions. You did the gig at Muzikstan, and maybe we should start by talking about that actually. So how was the gig for you?
Yeah, we had a great time.
Really nice.
It's always nice to be able to share the music that we really love with the community that we live in. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And you hadn't ever played at Muzikstan before, had you? So what do you think?
That was a really cool space. You really sensed that the people there were something more than just people who had come in randomly, and that there was a sense of, you know, community or collective interest in something greater than just a few tunes. So that's always really exciting.
Yeah, it's yeah, because Katie, you've played at Muzikstan before, and I know that you both do lots of musical projects. So really, what could you say about By Bus or By Boat that you guys have come together as you played at Muzikstan this time in that band? That's maybe a little bit different to your other music. Do you want to just talk about your inspirations behind the band?
Sure. Well, we kind of found each other through music and through our particular love in loads of different types of music. So I think By Bus or By Boat is kind of like, it is an example of all of the things that we really love, which is like just basically loads of different things. It's really varied. Like we both have, our main kind of passion is music from, I suppose, folk traditions and from around the world. So I think it's diverse, and that's what I love about it. What about you?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't have any other friends whose musical breadth is half as wide as what we get to share together. So being able to just jump from so many different traditions, but also I think we have a common interest in really trying to get inside the sound of these traditions, not just, oh, I'm going to play a tune from here and there and have it all sound like folk music, but the things that make each style unique are the things that grab us. So
your set that you played, is there a particular tune or two tunes that you might want to just talk about that you did specifically that we could share with people a little bit more of this depth?
What about the feet?
Oh yeah. We played a couple tunes from Quebec. Our northern neighbors in the US have a tradition of mostly fiddle and accordion music, but also flute figures some into it, and they do a percussive thing with their feet, which you won't be able to see, but and just sort of keeping a rhythm like that while you're playing. So
yeah, Aaron can do that really well. I can barely even like tap my foot at the same time as playing, so he makes it look very simple, but yeah.
Took a lot of hours to get to where I could
rub
set my mind.
Your belly
exactly.
And tap your head. So do you want to talk about maybe the instruments? I know it's a big part of your thing, and obviously Aaron as an instrument maker, I'd really love to hear more about your flutes that you make. I know you've got one here that we can see.
This is the most important one as well.
Yeah, this is the reason that we're together, basically. And I was fortunate enough to be born into a family both where playing of music was very prominent, and then also the making of these instruments. My dad taught himself, and I started working with him about 24 years ago. So it has been really my only full-time livelihood my whole adult life. I've never had a job interview ever, if you can believe that. I don't know too many people who are that innocent in that way.
So, yeah, tell us more.
Yeah, this is the type of flute that would have been found in Western classical music up until about 150 years ago, when the flute that most people are familiar with, which is metal generally, replaced it. And at that time, these sort of became orphaned and then readily available for very cheap. So lots of Irish people who are working over here brought lots of different instruments back to Ireland with them. And that's the point that the flute entered into Irish music. And just really in the last 40, 50 years or so, when there was a resurgence of popularity of traditional Irish music, and the good instruments sort of had got bought up by a certain point and weren't so readily available. And so my dad was sort of part of the first wave of maybe 3 or 4 other makers around the same time who learned and had to teach themselves kind of from nothing. There weren't really texts or any, school programs or anything like that. So sort of had to figure it out yourself. And it's become my livelihood now. And Katie ordered one about 10 years ago now. We do them a very, very slow, old-fashioned way.
And they have an enormous waiting list because they're very, very popular and sought after around the world.
And then, unfortunately, I didn't know Katie until about 2.5 years ago, so there was no way that I could skip her in the queue for preferential treatment, which people are always imagining I did.
No, I waited the full 8 years.
So can we hear
Go
the
on, you give
flute?
it a blast.
It's a very lovely thing.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Bravo. So Katie, I also hear that you had a little go at making something. Would you like to talk to us through this instrument?
I mean, I can't take full credit for this because Aaron guided me through every step of the way. But this is an instrument that I made when I was over in Virginia with Aaron last time. This is a Bulgarian kaval, which I've been playing, I don't know, probably about 8 years or something like that. It's a Bulgarian shepherd's flute, and I fell in love with it on one of my trips to Bulgaria. And we basically kind of done a kind of copy of an instrument that I have already. Then Aaron's very good at kind of taking the technical specifications and requirements to build something like this. And yeah, I'll give you a little blast. Oh, if I can make a sound.
It's really hypnotic. It's lovely. So where did you learn skills for that?
I learned it in Bulgaria, actually. I used to go on a kind of summer course over there in Plovdiv. It's a lovely, lovely old city. And at the university there, they had a folk seminar for a week. So I got to, kind of learn from the best kaval players in Bulgaria. And it's an amazing instrument, very kind of thorough, comprehensive kind of academic style of playing as well that we had lessons in, which I really enjoyed.
And so you improvise mainly on that, I'm guessing there's...
That was actually a tune called La Lay Lissy Zumbulisi, if I can remember, if I've pronounced that right. I can't remember what flower that is. It's a particular flower, maybe a tulip, but probably someone online will be able to tell me better. So that's quite a famous slow melody which would have been sung. But lots of other Bulgarian tunes would be in like kind of fast, irregular meters, like 7, 9, 11, 13.
Do you want to give us a little...
Oh, we need yours now.
Have we
Where's
got
yours?
To? So yeah, finally, just like to know a little bit more about obviously the name of the band, By Bus or By Boat, is there because you guys live on those things. Would you like to just tell us a little bit more, Katie? We're here on your boat in Birmingham today.
We are, yeah.
And Erin in Virginia on your bus. Do you want to just expand a little bit?
Yeah, so actually, maybe 20 years ago or something, or longer, I started having a dream about acquiring a school bus and putting a piano on it, which is kind of ridiculous because I didn't and still don't really play the piano, but I just thought it seemed like something that needed to happen. So that was kind of the original inspiration. About 8 years now ago, I acquired a short school bus, 23-foot long one, and gutted out the inside and set it up as a living space and a workspace and put the piano on it. And I've brought that around to music festivals and had other people who are amazing pianists play on it. And we've had some of the best jams I've ever had in my life on that bus. And yeah, I live out of it part-time now.
Sorry, slightly distracted by the...
No, this is one of the best parts.
The boat going by.
On the canal.
Playing Christmas tunes.
Is it Christmas? Okay, we'll go with it. It's seasonal. So you've got your workshop on your bus as well. So it's your living space, your jam space, and your workspace.
Yep.
Okay, so how long is your bus?
23 foot.
23 foot. And how long is your boat?
43 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
But the bus is a little bit wider, right?
Only
No?
not
6 foot?
Actually, it feels very similar, doesn't
Yeah,
it? It
yeah.
feels a bit like a home from home.
Yeah.
When you're...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just a couple of feet, maybe.
It's
like,
8 feet
wider.
wide, my recollection.
But that sounds great. So Katie, and yours obviously like sails around. You were talking earlier about the canal system. So it's a new phenomenon for you, the canal system.
Yeah, I knew nothing about it when we were getting to know each other a couple of years ago, and Katie told me that she had this dream to acquire this boat and live on it, and that just seemed like the coolest thing in the world. And I said, tell me more about this.
So you've had a little, I was going to say sail, but it's navigation, right?
I like the word sail.
Yeah, sailing sounds more fun. You've navigated your way around Birmingham.
Yeah, at the moment I'm in a mooring, so I don't move around as much, but that would be something that I'd really like to do in the future. So far, when I've gone out, most times something's gone wrong. The engine breaks down or I fall in the canal or something, but they say you're not a true boater until you've fallen in, so I feel like, yeah, I'm part of the way now at least.
And it's nice to sit and play your instruments on the top of the boat, right? That's...
On top of the boat, in the boat, it's great. You know, hopefully I'm not annoying the neighbours too much, but if I want to, I can just go somewhere else and annoy other neighbours instead, or, you know, out into the countryside and just play my bagpipes to my heart's content.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today,
Thanks.
and we do hope that you'll come back to Muzikstan in the future.
Definitely,
I'm sure you
yeah.
will.
Muzikstan's very special. It has a very special place in my heart. I can remember Zirak telling me about it the first time he had the idea of setting up Muzikstan, and now to know it's been going for, how long has it been going for?
It's a really good question I don't know the answer to, but over a decade. I mean, yeah.
Okay, I feel old now, but yeah, it's an important thing for Birmingham, and it's a lovely thing.